Hello and welcome to Smarter Than Trauma presents Smarty MC. Me, I'm the hostess with the mostest, where we boast less because we don't brag about our stable, regulated mental health, meaning we just exist in the space and do our best at understanding our decision making. When you can justify your decision, I call that regulated. A lot of people are unable to clarify why they think the way they think. This is troublesome when I work with individuals. When I say individuals, I'm talking about the specialists with titles, doctors, lawyers, principals, teachers, healthcare administrators, managers, and other things I don't even know what they are, and I'm not even sure if they know what they are. Disability officer who doesn't care about disability. Individuals with mental health being insane greed and dishonesty. The examples are from my real life, and the recordings you will hear are made in a time of duress. I utilize strategies to ensure that the noise that I call their PTSD, or pictures, touches, sounds disordered because they're lying, by using my voice to talk over it. This oftentimes does not make a clear way of communication. I recognize, and yet recording myself, being connected to technology, is why After trauma, it was really hard to form sentences, and yet I was extremely clear with doctors with what I was saying, and they decided to do stigma. So my reality is different than their reality. They put it down on a paper trail when it had nothing to do with what really happened in those sessions. So I'm suggesting that they actually record them or allow the patient to get their after-visit summary right away to make any corrections, because it's hard to remember what happened in a session, and if you're motivated to protect self and not record accurate information, then already we have somebody who is given a position of power over another. The best thing is to confront it. Also, this is nerve damage, nerve pain, nerve radiculopathy, which I guess is invisible, and yet I made it visible by always letting my body do what it needs to do, including my voice that absolutely needs to express itself. The biggest difference after violence in 2012, 13, 14. You won't believe it unless you go out with me. It's too dizzy in here. Look at this. It's busy, my visual cortex. Vertigo and vestibular. Hello. I just need accurate reporting. In a school that violated my students with special needs, is I'm expressive. And because I want to protect myself and my cat who was abused, the easiest way to do so is to share publicly, not rely on Chicago Police Department, nor the Chicago Parks District, nor Chicago Public Schools, Chicago Teacher Union, etc., to do the right thing. In fact, they all share the same behaviors, which has taught me how to be with the board of directors and a company called the Building Group, as they pick and choose which part of my disorder or disability to take advantage of. This has allowed me to make choices with people in my life who will absolutely trigger my body, which is why I share this story, because I can describe every trigger. I have to find the right side. This might be it. This is definitely elevating my symptoms, but I gotta keep doing it. 32, although he's really a 34. 30, but we'll get 32. Beginning with Northwestern Memorial Hospital, who provided, starting with Northwestern Memorial Hospital, who provided the template. Sorry about the background noise, but I am doing this in my home where now it's safe. All of a sudden, after years of it being not safe. So I'm going to celebrate by creating this podcast. What you will hear next is created under stress of the board of directors. Even just talking about it is creating a situation, and all I can think about are my students with special needs disability, unable to express themselves, focus, attend to a task, and accept learning and identity of self, being a learner, a reader, and a citizen. I'm going to recreate this authentically in the moment and prove that you can get through PTSD, nerve radiculopathy, concussion, post-concussion syndrome, traumatic brain injury, whatever it is that your diagnosis is, if you have the right team of people. And if not, then they too are part of this process to understand what needs to be done to help those suffering the most, what I call at-risk and most vulnerable populations. Those are homeless, living on the street. Those are those with addictions. And finally, children, elderly, and animals that have no voice or limited voices. I use the historical archive to to encourage us all to be grateful for the lives we have today, but also recognize the pain and strife and suffering of generations of people and populations who had no way of expressing themselves. That's why I let it out, or step 1. Again, my cats are really important to me with this storytelling. In fact, one of them stood in the way of the individual who was named as the abuser. My cat named his abuser, and I heard him. And that is why this is dedicated to my cat, my students at Elcott College Prep, formerly Elcott School for Literature and Writing in Lincoln Park, Chicago, and anyone feeling put down upon or difference is a bad thing, because I'm going to say difference is the best thing. I'm going to let their voices ring out, ring true, ring loudly, because they're going to tell their story verbatim. These are the people that told me my family has a hatred of difference. Anytime you have a disagreement, that's a confrontation, and the discussion about who pays. All right, this is not a political story, but it kind of is, because I want to change policies. Violence is indiscriminate. My words might not be great at the moment, and it might be hard to understand me, but please recognize it's a baseline. Yesterday was the board of directors meeting when I absolutely could not function, and you'll hear it. And that's why this podcast is about being smarter than trauma, always choosing to stand up for truth and justice, and changing the statute of limitation. Because sometimes it takes a while for people to recover from injuries in Kayla in order to talk about it. But also, the baddies know the rules, and they purposely use their specialty knowledge to do more harm. So, are you on my side? Or are you on their side? I will tell the story live, and the message is because the Chicago Police Department cannot protect survivor victims, and in fact, the community around me has totally turned their back when they are patting themselves on a job. They're celebrating a job not done in terms of survivor victims in the near north or old Cabrini Green neighborhood. All right, take care, everyone. This is Smarty MC, and when I get comfortable sharing my name, maybe I'll share it or maybe I won't. But the point is, this is a baseline. Now we can begin. My third and final curriculum that I'm calling Restructuring Live. I've restructured from sexual assault 2 times. Privately, when somebody said to me, I know more about you than you know about you, and the only thing that popped in my head was, oh, I'm a survivor, that's why, and you know I'm not going to speak, and that's why I changed everything about me, not recognizing that being expressive was already the change that had happened. I got to see how people react to survivor victims and difference, and I have to say, I'm not very pleased with it, and I think we can do a lot better. The groups I will be talking about specifically are Northwestern Memorial Hospital. I'm not going to list the names of the departments at the moment. Chicago Public Schools, Chicago Teacher Union, Chicago Police Department, Chicago Parks District, the building group, the board of directors at my homeowners association, and finally, charitable organizations in the Chicagoland area that absolutely showed me what never to do as I build my not-for-profit. All right, thanks so much. If you're interested in knowing more,
Old Chevrolets.
yeah.
Yeah, and this big blockheads and everything. He played around with those, and
What year are we talking about?
Yeah,
What year?
Jimmy.
The bricklayer.
The bricklayer.
Okay. Was he a good guy?
Huh?
He was a good guy?
Well, me and him was okay, but you know what?
What's Jimmy's last name?
Massey gave him a contract job.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you remember Jimmy's last name?
Huh?
What is Jimmy's last name?